It was a late autumn evening on October 28, just after dusk had settled like a velvet cloak over the city. The air was crisp with the promise of winter, and amber street lamps cast long, golden shadows on the cobblestones. A lone crow called in the distance, and the world seemed to pause, holding its breath. In this quiet interlude lived Xiao Jean, an icon to millions, yet a mystery even to those who adored her most. She moved through the days like a specter of beauty and grace, ever radiant on magazine covers and red carpets, but always separated by an invisible pane of glass. Those who watched closely could see the tremor in her fingers when photographers shouted her name and the forced brightness of her smile during interviews. Beyond the filters and the flash, her eyes often betrayed a storm of silence. Wong Iba, on the other hand, was a fortress wrapped in enigmatic calm. Colleagues described him as intense, his gaze unwavering, his words few but precise. He prowled the studio hallways like a monarch surveying his realm, radiating an allure that neither demanded explanation nor apology. In public, he was the epitome of composure. Behind closed doors, he was a haven few were invited to enter. Their first encounter took place amidst the clamor of production for the drama The Untamed. The world saw two talented stars, with on-screen chemistry lauded as electric, but behind the cameras, something far subtler stirred. During their first scene together, Jean hesitated on a line. Iba, standing just out of frame, reached toward her with the smallest of gestures, a reassuring tilt of his head, a wordless promise carried in the curve of his lips. She drew a breath and performed flawlessly. In that flicker of an instant, a seed was planted. Weeks later, on a rainy evening, the two found themselves beneath the same umbrella, both participants in a late-night charity gala. Jean laughed at a joke, one of the first genuine laughs on camera that anyone had seen, and as droplets drummed against the translucent dome above them, Iba's quiet laughter joined hers. Nobody recorded it, no one saw the moment save for a lone usher. Yet that shared smile was more revealing than any headline. Then came the night that changed everything. They were filming a tender farewell scene on a rooftop bathed in moonlight. Jean's character was meant to gaze skyward, reaching for something beyond reach. When the director called cut, Jean didn't move. Tears welled in her eyes unexpectedly, and she whispered words she thought nobody heard, "I'm lost." Iba, whose character had no scripted response, stepped forward. In his hand was a single white camellia, its petals trembling in the breeze. He held it out to her. No words were exchanged. All around them, the crew froze. The camellia was placed gently in Jean's palm, and as he wrapped his fingers around hers, a hush fell over the set. It was as if time had folded in on itself. Cameras clicked, but those photos never left the editing room. Fans who pieced together the narrative on social media discovered the clip months later. "Look at the way they hold hands," one tweet read. "It's not the script, it's their truth." Another fan commented, "This is the purest thing I've ever witnessed. I can feel my heart both breaking and mending at once." Their relationship flourished in whispered moments, off camera and out of the public eye. In the early mornings, Jean would practice vocal exercises on the rooftop garden, and Iba would arrive with 2 steaming cups of chrysanthemum tea. They would stand side by side in silence, breathing in dawn's soft hush. Outside, rumors swirled. Paparazzi chased phantom glimpses, sometimes spotting the pair walking arm in arm through narrow alleys lined with maple trees, other times catching them sharing a private joke over late-night street food. Yet neither confirmed nor denied. In interviews, Jean spoke only of artistry and inspiration, while Iba attributed his calm centering to life's simple treasures. On December 5, during a fan-initiated charity livestream, Jean faltered mid-sentence, her voice caught in a tremor of emotion. The chat exploded in concern. Moments later, Iba's figure materialized behind her, his tall frame shielding a gust of cold air, and he placed a hand on her shoulder. Jean exhaled, and the trembling ceased. "You are not alone," Iba said quietly, though the microphones did not pick it up. Every viewer felt the weight of those unspoken words. Amid this hush of genuine care, outsiders began to reflect on their own definitions of love. A journalist who observed them noted, "In an industry built on spectacle, they have found sanctuary in contingency, proof that the most profound bonds defy the need for grand declarations. Love, it seems, requires only authenticity." Backstage anecdotes grew into legend. A veteran dance instructor recalled that during a grueling rehearsal, Jean's ankle twisted painfully. Before she could fall, Iba caught her with the precision of a model performing a choreographed lift. "He didn't hesitate," the instructor said. "Her safety mattered more than any take. And there was the matter of the letters. Thousands poured in, handwritten notes colored with pressed flowers and delicate sketches, addressed to two hearts unseen. Fans donated blankets knitted in hues of twilight and recorded lullabies on mixtapes for Jean's restful nights. An entire charity sent hot water bottles shaped like rabbits to comfort Iba during long, cold shoots. Through it all, neither star broke the silence. Then came Valentine's Day, when a single photo slipped through a friend's phone. Jean and Iba, faces inches apart, foreheads touching, eyes closed. Overlaid on the image was a simple caption, "Safe." The photo was removed hours later, but not before it became a global sensation. "I've never felt so hopeful," wrote one commenter. "It's like witnessing a secret that heals." As winter gave way to early spring, the two returned to the stage for a live concert, this time performing a duet. Their voices intertwined with such raw emotion that fans around the world pressed record on their devices. When they finished, Jean took a single step toward Iba and rested her head on his chest. He wrapped an arm around her waist, pulling her close. For once, the spotlight was on something more than performance. It was on the affirmation that everyone craves: to be seen, to be safe, to be known. Critics praised the moment as a watershed in celebrity culture, an act of vulnerability that transcended the veneer of fame. Netizens shared testimonials. "They've taught me that love can be the quietest revolution," one said. "It doesn't need to shout to change the world." Now, as spring unfurls its green promise, the story of Xiao Jean and Wong Iba stands as a testament that the most real love often dwells where the loudest applause cannot reach. No grand announcement was ever made, no red carpet confession. Yet the world knows. Two hearts chose each other, and in doing so, taught us all that true connection asks for no audience, only the courage to show up when it matters the most. So, what do you believe? Is there more than friendship between these two souls? We may never receive an official answer. But if love's essence is measured in moments of unwavering presence, then perhaps the question has already been answered, quietly, tenderly, infinitely, between Xiao Jean and Wong Iba.